Zombies in the Star Wars universe? An explanation for Palpatine's return? Fans are dying to know what's up with Project Necromancer. After last week's lighthearted episode in the latest season of The Mandalorian, we're treated to an extremely high-stakes penultimate episode meant to gear us toward an explosive finale. Delivering a cold open that strengthens the show's connections with the Star Wars sequel trilogy, The Spies does not waste any time in setting up multiple future storylines. We finally see Moff Gideon in the flesh after being teased about his return for 6 episodes, and the big baddie is busy conversing with the Imperial Shadow Council, who are working overtime to reinstate the Empire covertly. We see Admiral Paleon, who has a direct connection to Grand Admiral Thrawn, along with Commandant Brendol Hux, known to be key to the First Order and its eventual rise to power down the line. While these cameos already tie the events of The Mandalorian to those in the sequel trilogy, a mysterious secretive project is name-dropped to suggest the return of a familiar face. Gideon and Commandant Hux briefly talk about cloning technologies, with the former evading questions about Dr. Pershing's fate and being dismissive about plans related to this field. This is when Hux mentions Project Necromancer, which everyone in the Council seems to be aware of. While Hux and company are most likely referring to Palpatine returning somehow, let's take a look into the many facets that might factor into this nefarious Imperial experiment. While the Sith are known to walk a dark, dangerous path, incorporating arcane magic and alchemy, necromancy is still considered niche and mostly off-limits by disciples of this path. After all, reanimating the dead is no easy task, as it requires ritual magic and personal sacrifices that come at a great cost.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
And there are many magic users spread across the galaxy. For instance, the Night Sisters of Dathomir tap into dark energies granted by the planet's Ichor. But the act of bringing the dead back to life is a big no-no even for the most formidable magic users. While ritual necromancy might be a lost art to the remnants of the Empire in The Mandalorian, it is not far-fetched to assume that some form of this idea is being implemented with the aid of advanced technology. Project Necromancer might be a combination of arcane magic and state-of-the-art technology, with several layers of objectives ranked according to priority. At the moment, the Empire is scattered and leaderless, which would make sense for the introduction of an interim puppet ruler sometime in the future. Events of the sequel trilogy map out the rise and fall of Supreme Leader Snoke, who acted as leader of the First Order in the New Republic era. After Kylo Ren betrays Snoke by killing him in The Last Jedi, it is later revealed that he was only an artificial genetic construct, created as a proxy until Palpatine's resurrection, with his only goal to manipulate events in favor of the Sith resurgence.
There's been an awakening. Have you felt it?
The opening of The Rise of Skywalker hints at several Snoke clones hibernating inside glass tanks, which could mean they were all programmed to act a certain way, despite seeming to possess a mind of their own. There are aspects of this plan that are shrouded in mystery, as Palpatine claimed that he was the one who created Snoke. Project Necromancer could be the Shadow Council's attempts to resurrect Palpatine while creating Snoke clones to keep edging towards their goal of establishing the First Order. Gideon's interest in Grogu in the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian ties in directly with the Empire's covert plans to champion genetic cloning and DNA reanimation.
You have something I want.
The Dr. Pershing episode reinforces these narrative strands. Moreover, Elia Kane's presence on Coruscant also hints at a grander plan spearheaded by Gideon. He may have access to information that others in the Shadow Council might not be privy to. But how does Thrawn factor into Project Necromancer, if at all? The Shadow Council seems to be confident of his imminent return. While Thrawn will most likely make his first live-action appearance in Ahsoka, he is bound to be involved in the Council's plan to some extent. And if this isn't about Palpatine's return, could the Empire be seeking to bring back the dead in hordes? Despite how it sounds, adding zombies to the Star Wars universe isn't an entirely new idea. A viral outbreak reanimating the dead shows up in both the Star Wars Legends novel Death Troopers and the now defunct iOS game Star Wars Commander. In the latter, these troopers were infected with a viral agent that turned them into mindless killers after their deaths, and the group shared a hive mind and cannibalistic urges. It's possible that Project Necromancer will follow this route. Still, considering the undead trooper's origin, it's more likely that Project Necromancer will tie into Palpatine's resurrection. After all, we still don't know how he came back.
Somehow Palpatine returned.